Today on the hot seat we have Geeta. Geeta's been with me for I would say about 4 months now, give or take. And she has an amazing journey, so we thought we'd get her onto the hot seat. And yeah, let's introduce ourselves. So Geeta, if you can introduce yourself, tell me a bit more about your kids, job, what you do, and yeah.
Yeah, so my name's Geeta. I'm a full-time accountant. I have two kids, so always busy. Life's always busy. Yeah, that's sort of me.
And you said you had two kids, right?
Yeah.
How old
So
are your
I've
kids?
so my daughter's 13 and my son is 9. So yeah, growing up fast. So there's always, things to do around them, getting them to
Keeping you
school,
keeping you
keeping me
busy.
busy, keeping me on my toes. Yeah. It's,
It's good.
like every day it's a different thing.
They grow up fast, right? It's like I've got a 6 year old and my younger one's like almost coming to 8 months. I'm like, where's 8 months gone? It's crazy how fast it's
Yeah.
gone. And people asking me already, like, oh, waiting for first birthday. I'm like, I've not even thought that far yet. Like I've got a couple of months. Just give me a break. I'll worry about it when it comes in August. But it's ridiculous how it goes. And soon it'll be summer, and then like
It's
my
like
older one being year two, I'm like, oh, it's just gone so fast.
time goes around, yeah, goes around fast. I mean, I can remember like my daughter being in year 2 and now she's in year 10. So
Yeah, I'm not even thinking that far yet.
it's like, yeah, almost GCSE time. It's,
Yeah.
yeah, lot going on.
It's busy as our time nowadays. Everyone's just like I'm short on time. Time is like a big thing at the moment where people are just like, I don't have time. I don't have all I hear is I don't have time. I don't have time.
Yeah, because you're like constantly like you're either working and
Mm,
that takes up most of your day, right?
yeah,
Pre-working, you're sorting your kids out or getting them ready for school. Post work, it's like helping them with their homework or getting dinner ready, doing housework. Then the weekends are taken up by activities. You've got their whatever activities they're doing, whether it be football or swimming, having to sort of drive them to tuitions, Gujarati school. There's loads going on, right? So
yeah,
even the weekend takes up so much of your time. Before you know it, the weekend's done. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's it.
time is a big factor, right? In every day.
Yeah, 100%. It's like just finding squeezing in little bit by bit to do even the smallest things nowadays is like a chore. I think especially after I that's my opinion. Especially after the whole COVID thing, where people are working from home, you would
Yeah.
assume that you've got more time. But it's like,
It's
because you're working from home now, it's like you got even more things to do, or you feel like, you know what, I'm at home, let me just do that now. Or I'm at home, let me
exactly.
just do that now. And it's just family think that because you're home, you're not working now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely, yeah. You think like when you're working from home, you try and do like the washing in between things that you used to do, say like on a weekend before. Now you try and fit it in your weekday, right?
yeah,
Your like admin, your banking, you try and get it done like, while you're working from home. Um, but yeah, it's just you think you have more time, I guess, but it's just,
it's never enough.
yeah, never enough.
No worries. And leading into the next question for you is, why would you, why did you feel that you needed a change? Or what led you to, decide to say, you know what, I need a change in my lifestyle. I'm gonna go out and join a program? Like, what was your trigger point to say, I need to change?
So for me, it was like, during COVID, I started sort of putting on a lot of weight. Like I wasn't going to the office 5 days a week. So I guess like, I'm doing like less exercising. That commute that I used to do is no longer there, right?
Yeah,
Started piling on the weight. And then just post COVID, I tried a few different things. I just find it so hard to lose the weight. Um, I tried a few things. Like I'll start in January, like say by March, April, like I've lost a bit of weight. And before I know it, by the end of the year, I put it back on again. It's like I haven't been able to find something that I can keep consistent with or maintain. That sort of started happening a few years after, like in November, I turned 40, and I was like, okay, shit, I've got to do something about this now. Like
yeah,
my metabolism is slowing down. I'm not getting any younger. I need to make a change, right? I need to make a change in my lifestyle. I need to do something about this, otherwise it's just going to get even worse. So
Yeah.
I think for me, that was the trigger point. I was at my heaviest, like since I've had my kids. So I think that was like sort of the point where I thought, you know what, I need to make a change. I need to do something. And my husband's been following Affinity like on Instagram and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, why
Yeah.
don't you try this? Like, I think it might be helpful. It will be, he's sort of followed the program. He hasn't done the program, but he's been seeing like results on Instagram of
Yeah.
people. And he was like, give it a try and see like how it goes, how you feel. So yeah, that was sort of the trigger point for me. That's when I contacted Nick and I was like, okay, I need to join the program. I need to make a change. So yeah, that was the sort of
Changing point for you.
changing point for me. Yeah,
And was it more of a, yes, I know you said you've tried it yourself, you try doing workouts, you try being healthy on the food, you do it for like 3 months, 4 months, and then the weight comes back on, and you're like, or you kind of hit a plot where it's like, oh my God, I've done it for 3 months. It's not now moving. It's not this. I'm just gonna like go back to it, and you come up in the loop of the yo-yo dieting. And was that on and off for like a couple of years, or was you just like
yeah.
recently?
I'd say like at least 3, 4 years it's been sort of on and off.
Yeah. And you said,
You know,
Nick, that your husband followed us on Instagram and stuff and found us and led you into kind of
yeah.
saying, you should join it. They've got good things going on. Would you say, or leading on to that, I've got a question for you that we get a lot of people ask us, and we get a lot of debate on it, is why did you choose online coaching over face-to-face PT? Because that's what everyone's used to, right? Post-COVID, before COVID and stuff, face-to-face PT, you go to a gym, you got a PT, trains you for an hour, might help you with the meal plan and stuff, or you have your own meal plan, they do it. And a lot of people do that. And a lot of people are like, well, how is an online coach going to help me when I don't see the guy or see the lady who I'm working with, and I'm going to pay up, money to join it, and it's all online. Did you have that debate in your mind where it's like, oh, yes, my husband's told me about it, looked at us, and it's all online compared to physically having someone there pushing you?
Yeah, so I guess like I've never done it before. So I've never had that, comparison where I can say, it's different to having a physical person or someone doing it online. I think like post-COVID, it's changed everyone's mind, right? That you can do things online. Now that we can actually work online, we can work from home. That wasn't a pre-COVID thing before. And now, times have changed post-COVID for everything. So I think in my mind, it was like, if we can do that post COVID, surely like, joining this program that's online, I can do it. Um, I didn't sort of feel like I needed a physical presence of
Mm,
someone like pushing me. It was more that I need the advice, I need guidance, I need the support to be able to make a change, to eat the right things. Like I know I wasn't eating the right food. I wasn't eating food that was giving me the right nutritions. And I was constantly hungry. So when I'm constantly hungry, I'm just like, going into the drawer, picking up snacks.
mm,
It's easily done, right?
yeah,
And just not being prepared with your meals. Like if you don't know what you're eating, then you're just out of the blue, you're eating whatever you can get your hands on. And so, yeah, for me, I didn't sort of, as I say, I didn't have that difference like to compare with.
yeah,
Yeah, so it was just like, yeah, it's online, that's fine. I'm happy to go with it. Let's, do this. Make a change.
yeah. Because generally, what people find, obviously, because you haven't done it, but generally, how the PT world works is you've got PT. Let's say you pay that person, unless you're paying and you got loads of money and you're paying that person every day, you still only have them for an hour, 45 minutes, an hour a day in the gym
Yeah,
with you. The rest of the 23 hours, you're at home, you're on your own, you're not messaging him. That's why I feel it's very, very different to an online coach. And you can talk from your own experience. Like you have me as your coach on your WhatsApp, like just there. Sometimes I'm sure you got messages from me at 11 at night, and you're like, it's a constant
yeah,
reminder. Or sometimes I feel it's just one of those things where it's like, no matter what happens, you can message me, and you know that you will get a response back. Whereas in with a PT, you'll have to wait till the next session till you meet the person,
Yeah,
till
exactly.
you can ask them the question, right? That's my opinion on it. But obviously, it's a bit difficult for you because you've not done the other side of it. But we do get a lot of questions of people asking, "Oh, why online and why not face to face?" Because I'm not saying it doesn't work; it works, but it's just a whole different
And
aspect
then
of it.
like you see your PT once a week, and then you've got a whole week, and a lot can change in a whole week, right?
Yeah, you
Um,
can change it to 2 3 days. You know it. You've been through it, right? Like in the process, I think you message me when it's not moving or weight's not moving, and then
yeah.
if I don't reply back to you in that same day, and I reply back to you in 3 days time, and the weight's don't move for 3 days, you're now stressing. You're like, oh crap, what am I doing? And then you
Yeah,
start
also
thinking of
the
things and start
motivation
doing it.
goes, right? You don't see the result, and then motivation starts going downhill, and then
Yeah,
you get into a cycle where you just like, I can't be bothered with this because it's not working.
100%. But yeah, thank you for answering that. If you were to describe to me a day in your life before you joined Affinity, like if you just walk through me a day, so before joining Affinity and joining the online program, what would your normal typical day be like?
So I guess like my normal typical day, like Monday to Friday, like I'd wake up, get the kids ready for school, go and drop them off by car, come home, log into work, do what I have to do, have like breakfast or lunch, go and pick them up in the afternoon again, and again by car, right?
Yeah,
Um, and then it's like come home, finish working, try and sort the kids out, get dinner ready, do homework with the kids. You're doing whatever you need to prep for the next day. And then before you know it, it's bedtime, you're shattered, going to sleep. So
yeah,
it's kind of like a sort of same routine. Come weekend, you're busy running around after the kids again, activities, you know, by the end of that, you're doing shopping, cleaning, and the weekend is gone. So yeah, so that was sort of my routine before joining the program.
on a day-to-day basis, right? Quite busy, no
Yeah,
time to think about food or plan food or even think about a workout, right?
exactly. Yeah. So
Uh,
before joining the program, it's to be like, oh, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to go for a walk. Just yeah.
and now you got time in your hand.
Now
What would you
now I'm
say?
making time.
You, that's it, right? That's what people think.
Yeah.
I didn't have time. It's just you have to make the time.
You have to
It's
make time.
it's one of those things that you have to make the time. And literally that leads me into my next question for you is where are you now? Um, talk to me about how you feel, your results, how many kgs you're down, how do you feel, energy, mood, your lifestyle, and your day-to-day life now after joining the program.
So after joining the program, so like 4 months in the program, so far I've lost like 15 kilos, which has been amazing. And I didn't think I'd be able to achieve so much. When I joined, I thought, okay, my target is 10 kilos. I'd be happy if I can lose that in 6 months. But just 4 months in, I've lost like more than I expected. And like I said, like with anything, you have to make time, right? So I built in like we're going out for walks or doing the workouts, just taking more time for myself to concentrate on myself. This is if I want to make a change, I have to make that time, right? And again, like with meal preps, it's like spend 10 minutes prepping your meals. Like we do, like put it on my fitness pal on the Sunday. I know what I'm eating for the week. I know what I'm going to be cooking. And I plan around what I'm making for the kids. So it's not like I have to do anything a lot extra.
Yeah,
It's just being prepared, right? Um, and that's helped. That's got me to where I am now. Um, you know, I'm now like I wake up like when the kids are on holiday before I should just lie in and wake up at 9 o'clock, log in and do what I have to do. Now I'm like, no, I have to get up, go out for a walk, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, come home, do stuff, be ready to log in at 9 o'clock. So my mindset has changed. So I'm doing more for myself. Like I need to take out this time and concentrate on myself because it's about my health. I if like nobody can do it for you, you have to do it yourself, right?
100%.
Um, so it's that sort of change in mindset that the program's sort of given me to help myself. Like I have to do it.
And you touched on it on there a bit, right? Where you said you had to make time, like you're doing it for yourself. People nowadays straight up, a mate will come up to you and say, "Oh yeah, Geeta, by the way, download Trading 212. You can invest in this app, and you put your money into it." And it's not guaranteed; it's based on someone else, right? But you're
Yeah,
happy to invest into it because it's just there. Or people like invest into a car. People invest into things, but you know, when we tell people that yes, you're joining a program, yes, it comes at a price. Don't get me wrong, um, but it's investment in you.
exactly.
How do you feel that, that's been for you? Like, as in, yes, you have to pay up the price for a program for 6 months and you're like thinking at the start probably, oh my God, price, 6 months, what's gonna happen? But now having been 4 months into it, 15 kgs down, you're not probably on my aim for you is like make getting to the 20 by the time you leave the program, right?
Yeah.
Um, what's your thoughts on, investment into yourself and into the program?
I think it's like the best thing I've done, like I think you can't put a price on your health. Like for people I'd say like don't wait until you get that scare from the doctor to say you need to make a change. Like I didn't have that for myself, but I wanted to make the change because I wasn't happy with the way I looked. My clothes not fitting, everything felt tight. So it is an investment, but you need to invest in yourself. And everything is an investment, right? Whether you go to work, whether you're, investing in your health, you just need to make the time to do it. And when you see results, that's sort of like the the pay that you're getting, right? So if you invest into a program that's going to help you to achieve something and not just achieve it, but something that you can maintain long term, something that's lifestyle change that you can continue doing. It's not like a 6 month investment. This is like you're investing in the rest of your life to be healthy. Think like when you get older, like in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, when you're not able to move as much, this investment now is going to help you because the more you move now, the healthier you'll be, right? Long term, when you get older,
Yeah.
you'll have more mobility. So you got to do it now while you can before it's too late.
100%. You literally got that right. An investment, like in your case, you said it as a scare, right? In your case, it wasn't a scare from a doctor. In my own personal story, for me, it was a scare from the doctor. Young guy went to a doctor for normal blood test, and they're like, "Mate, you need to like before your kid's born, sort your stuff out." Or I had underlying health conditions. I'm like, if I don't sort that out, I might not be. Literally, his own words were, "You're not going to be around long enough to have a future with your kids if you don't sort out you now." And that
Yeah.
was my like switching bulb, like light bulb switch. Like crap. Literally walked out of the doctor's. The next day I was like, Jim, like there was no filter for it to switch. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to get that drastic, right? If you can do it now, it's better. And as you said, we're not getting younger. We're all getting older.
Exactly.
My mom complains about her knees and stuff. If literally she says it now, if she does exercise now because I've given exercise to do and stuff. If she did that 10 years ago,
It would have been different. Yeah.
you've been different, right? Walking and the walking is such a big thing. I know you've kept up with it. You've kind of liked your walks now. You're always on your walking and stuff. Which leads me into like, I know you've touched on it briefly, or what your day looks like right now, but if you can kind of summarize it for me, what a typical day of Gia's life is now.
So now like I've sort of built exercising and walking into my routine. So now when I wake up and I'm dropping the kids off to school, I'm leaving the car there and I walk back home. So I'm like getting 25-minute walk back home. And then in the afternoon I'm sort of going to pick them up. I'm walking to school. I'm doing like I've got invested in the walking pad. So like during the day when I'm working from home, I'll do half an hour to like 45 minutes on the walking pad, get some extra steps in. Now I know what I'm eating in the day. Like I'll, get my meals ready, have that like go according to my plan. Um, After work, I'm, again, like I'm prepared with my meals. So I know what I'm eating. After dinner, I'll sort of take out more time, go for another short walk or get onto the walking pad if the weather's like, not so great. So yeah, and then like doing my workouts on like 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I know I've got those 20-minute workouts to do. So I set a time aside like in the evening. and do that. And I guess it's like for me now, it gets a bit easier. My kids are, getting a bit older, so I can leave them to do their homework. I'm like, okay, this is your homework. This is what you need to do. You do it. I'm going to be in my room. I'm going to be exercising. If you need help, then call me. But you need to start doing these on your own.
Yeah.
Now I'm like getting back time for myself. So, that's sort of now my day where I'm focusing more on myself, and doing that extra bit that I didn't do before.
And it's like, as you said it before, it's time. You basically learned how to give yourself time back. Like
Exactly.
before where you're running around like head of chicken, I don't have time, I don't have time. Now you control your time or you make time for the things that are important. I'm not saying that kids' homework, spending time with the kids is not important. It is as important
Yeah.
as you doing it for yourself. But if your own health is not good, long term, as they
Yeah.
grow older, it's just, you know, then you get to age of like 60, 70, and you're like, you can't do certain things and stuff like that. But you're just making sure that your health now is better, so you can, as like your kids are older now, running around. Easter holidays gone. I know you mentioned to me that got a bike and stuff for your younger one. You can now do that, whereas before, like, yeah, can't be asked. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. When like, before it's like, okay, let's go to the park. Oh, I can't be asked, like I'm just too tired.
yeah.
Don't have the energy. We'll do it later. But now it's like, okay, come on, let's go. Let's get out.
Now it's you
So
prompting them.
yeah, let's go and do some walking. Let's go here. And now, like, before I used to, take the car everywhere. And now it's like, you know what? It's a 20-minute walk. Let's walk it. Let's get some steps in. So make more of an effort to still doing everyday stuff, but try and walk wherever I can
Yeah,
more than before.
it's a change in mindset you've got, right? Which is really, really
Yeah,
good, and hopefully, no, and hopefully, I know you will carry this rest of your life. It's
definitely.
like even, I know you just came back from a holiday, like, before holiday, you're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like,
Yeah, I'm
you
a
went
bit stressed.
holiday, you went gym on holiday, you went gym, came back, and weight hasn't, it's fine. There's nothing's
Yeah,
happened.
I know. Like, I mean, I surprised myself because I was like, I never always been on holiday where the gym has been available and I've never used it. It's the first time I'm like, okay, where is the gym? I need to go to the gym. So yeah, it's definitely, a new mindset. Like, definitely. And like I was out like sort of even when it was like in Dubai, it was hot. So waking up early, getting out for a walk before sunrise, just to get those extra steps in before the kids wake up.
Yeah,
Mm. So yeah, it's just a
it's just a great
ter-
mindset change you've had, basically. Which literally
yeah.
leads into me, like, what's your biggest learning so far, would you say, in the last 4 months that you've kind of like, oh my God, this is huge.
I'd say like my biggest learning is definitely like learning how to do portion control.
Okay.
Um, and I think that that's something that I've struggled with for a very long time. And through the program, logging like food, restricting, it's not like I don't call it restriction, but counting your calories, like this is how much you can eat, has been a great beneficial help to me. Because before, like when you're not counting, you're not measuring, you're just overeating, right? And I've always had that problem with overeating. So it's just been difficult. And the biggest thing I've learned is how to do portion control, which has helped. And I still feel full after eating what I'm eating. It's because I'm eating healthier things. So when you eat like junk food, when you're eating like say crisps or biscuits or chocolates, these things they don't really fill you up, right? They give you like an energy boost for about 5 minutes, and then you're hungry again already.
Yeah.
But just yeah, making the right choices, eating healthier options, has been sort of a great learning curve as well.
It should be good, right? And you're still eating your standard, I would say, Gujarati meals,
Exactly.
rotli shak, and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like you've joined us and we're like, okay, Geeta, you can't eat none of this food, and I'm gonna give you a list of food, and this is all you can eat. You've literally been eating
Yeah.
all the food you eat before joining us. It's just now you've learned how to say portion control. Yes, you've mastered it. You've then said, you know what, when you go out, you kind of know the rules we've put in place for you to say. this is what you follow, and you can still enjoy. I remember at the start, you went to like a couple of restaurants and like dosas and your weight was still moving. It's surprising. You're like, oh my God, you're so surprised it's moving because you're eating the right amount. Whereas in before, you'd have gone in and had the dosa, the paneer, the more. You had everything. Whereas
Exactly,
now
yeah.
it's like everywhere. Now it's more controlled.
All the starters, you have the mains, you have dessert, which you don't even need. And you come home and you feel, oh my God, like I've eaten too much, feel bloated. The next day you feel like guilty because you've overeaten, and it's just that cycle, right?
Yeah,
And now I can, I can go out to eat, go to restaurants, can go to social events, and still, eat a fair amount of food, and not feel those things. Not feel tired afterwards because I'm eating the right portion, right? Which has really helped.
it's really good. So far what you've achieved. I know through the program you've had some days when you message me like, oh, motivation's a bit low and stuff like that. What would you say, like, what have you done when motivation's a bit low? You lack motivation. What has kept you going?
I think it's being able to see the results. Like since joining the program, I've been able to see results like from very early on. Like, I could see the weight dropping, and that's been the motivation for me. So it's like the way it's working, like the weight is dropping. Now I can do more. I need to do more. To keep going, to lose more weight.
Yeah,
And that's why at that time where I was kind of stable, I was like, okay, what can I change? What can I, do extra to help it continue? Do I need to change anything up? Do I need to, trick my body into
yeah,
losing weight? Like, how do I do this? Right. But like you said, consistency is the key. You keep doing it and it will work, which has been great.
100%. Consistency, discipline. Yes, you can have tough days. Um, yeah, you might plan your meals for the next week. One meal might not go to plan, but it's not the end of the world. At least you have all the other meals that went to your plan.
Yeah.
And this is where people go wrong, where it's like hit a block, it's not working, and then that's it. Go the other way. But it's literally it's not working, but it'll work. Just carry on doing exactly as long as you're honest to yourself to say, you know what, I'm doing everything right, matter of days, maximum a week, and then you'll see that it starts moving again. It's just your body fighting it back. But it's really, really good to see how far you've come. 15 kgs down. Um, you know, I'm sure we're gonna hit the 20 kg mark soon. Whole lifestyle's changed. Your pictures are looking great. You said yourself your clothes fit better, you look better. When we go on walks and stuff, we've seen you. You can, I think, remember you told me one time you're now keeping up with the pace of your husband walking,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Um,
Before I was like left so far behind, it would be like miles ahead of me. And now like we can walk at the same pace, like and I don't feel tired. I don't feel out of breath.
yeah.
Feel a lot healthier. Um, yeah, it's good.
Overall change in life, basically, right?
Yeah.
If you were to give a final question for you, if you were to give someone who's on edge at the moment, either joining a program, us or anyone else, or just on edge about their lifestyle, health, and all those kind of things, what are the three tips or advice you would give them to say, you know what, this is what you can do, or if they're a bit demotivated, these are Geeta's three advices that we can use.
I'd say, like the affinity motto, keep consistent, carry on doing what you're doing. Once you've got a routine built, it will pay off, right? The results will come. Be accountable for yourself. It's not about anyone else. You need to be true to yourself. Whatever you're eating, whatever you're writing down, if you're cheating, you're cheating on yourself. So, be accountable for that. And the last thing I would say is, have a can-do attitude, because nobody else can do it for you. So you have to do it yourself. If you want to make a change, then you have to have the can-do attitude. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Um, yeah, so those would be the sort of three things I would say. Um, Keep working at it, and it will pay off.
100%. Literally hit on a nail. We can put all the people can join us. We can put everything in place for you. We'll lay out the foundations for you. We'll tell you what to do your workouts, what type of food to eat. But as you said it, right, it's honesty to yourself. Um, it's one thing showing your coach what you do,
Yeah.
and one thing you doing it. Yes, as a coach, I can see that it's not working. I can see the facts in front of me, and we follow the facts, right? I see the numbers where it's not dropped based on the calories you're on. It should work. This is the science behind it. It would work. It has to work. If it's not, comes down to either you're unknowingly doing something wrong or knowingly it's not working and you're not honest to yourself. And
Yeah.
honesty is the biggest thing. As you said, you joined a program for yourself, no one else. Um, which is really, really good. And yeah, just have to be honest about it, and the results will come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Any final touching words before we end today's podcast call?
I'd say, if anyone's thinking about doing it, if you're wanting to make a change to your lifestyle to get healthier, just do it because you got to do it today. There's no tomorrow, right? You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You have to make the change now. Um, just go for it. Just like, don't even think about it. Join the program, do the change, see the results, and just be happier, right? Happier, healthier.
100%. Thank you, Geeta, for joining us in the hot seat today. And yeah, enjoy your day, rest of your day, and I will speak to you soon.